Okay.
Interview, scene one, take one, mark it.
Okay. Growing up, some of my role models as an Asian American, we had Bruce Lee, Connie Chung,
So that's it?
yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't like exactly cool or sexy to be an Asian American back in those days. We were just kind of known for being, quiet nerds that just kept to ourselves, doing our own thing. I remember when I was a kid, I'd go to the movies with my parents, and just seeing any Asian on screen playing whatever bit part was like really exciting for us. Back then, you're not gonna wanna see some Asian like saving the day or getting the girl or whatever. It's just like, go do your science, go do math stuff. And we were happy with that.
Have things changed for Asian Americans now?
Well, okay, so yeah, I'm proud of Steven Yeun. He's doing great things. He's getting a lot of recognition. He's getting noms, and it's all well-deserved, all that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other Asian Americans that are accomplishing some great things on screen as well. And I don't want to diminish that, but I kind of have to diminish that as an Asian American. So it used to be that we could all just be Asians together, like no one could really tell us apart, and no one was astronomically more special than the other, at least in white people's eyes, which was like the true prize of specialness. We could just kind of feel special in that kind of thing, in the little things. I'll be watching a movie or TV with like a white friend of mine, and they'll see an Asian on screen, and they say, "Hey, there's an Asian like you." And I'd say, "Yeah, thanks." And that was pretty cool. So I'm not like an aspiring actor or anything like that, but before Steven Yeun, I actually had some manageable expectations in my life, just some hope that I could be something. And I'd be able to kind of compare myself to other Asian dudes and see that they just had the right amount of success for me to not feel bad about myself. I mean, nothing I ever do is gonna reach Steven Yeun level of success. Just really takes the luster out of being Asian, Especially being an Asian dude. I always thought like, if we could just get an Asian dude up there, an Asian man on screen, that we can kind of show the rest of America how like cool and handsome we could all be. But now that we have that in Steven Yeun, like he's kind of pulling that off. It's not quite what I thought it would turn out to be. It's not like, oh, Asian men are cool and handsome and sexy. It's more like, Steven Yeun is cool and handsome and sexy. I mean, what about me? I'm handsome. I have a wife who thinks I'm more handsome than Steven Yeun. She said that.
You guys are gonna blur out my face, right? Okay, good.
So, how do you feel about Steven Yeun?
Steven Yeun, I think he's great. I think what he's doing for the Asian American community is great. Asian American stories, he's taking on male leading roles. And I love that people outside the Korean American community find him attractive.
Do you find him attractive?
Oh, I mean, he's objectively handsome.
Have you seen the GQ spread?
No. Oh. Huh. Oh, wow.
So...
Huh.
What do you think?
Sorry, what?
Do you find him attractive?
I mean, he looks great.
Do you think your husband is as attractive?
Yeah, I mean, I find my husband more attractive, right?
Right.
Check this out. Got pretty good at darts in quarantine. Nope. Oh, standing a little bit too far back. Here's the line. Fuck! What is wrong with you today? Whether it's being criticized, feeling criticized from other people, or we're just doing it to ourselves, it's what motivates us and it's what gives us purpose in our lives. That's the quintessential thing about being Asian, it's criticism. And our parents make sure to instill this very early on in our lives. Just constant reminders that we're not good enough. And it helps us survive in the world. So the whole other side to this is we can criticize other people to make ourselves feel better. Like we can apply the same intensity of criticism that we feel and use on ourselves to other people to give us more reason to live. So let's say you got a super hot friend who's just making you feel bad about yourself. In that case, you can tell yourself, well, they're very irresponsible with their finances. Therefore, they're a flawed person, just like me.
So how has that worked out for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's worked out great for me, you know, until Steven Yeun. So he first shows up in Walking Dead, and that was easy. It was just kind of like, oh, he's short round with the little ball cap and everything, you know, from Indiana Jones. Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones, you get it, right? So I was a little offended, but it wasn't like any crazy level of success that would make you feel bad about yourself as an Asian American man. But then he ended up getting the hot white lead girl. I mean, they never let you get the hot white girl. But we all know that Asian people aren't really known for comedy. Then it turns out he's friends with Conan O'Brien. I mean, I've been a massive Conan O'Brien fan since he hit the airwaves. And now this guy who just showed up on TV is like just palling around with Conan O'Brien, going to Korea and doing cool things in Korea, being funny. I'm funny, I have friends who think I'm funny. Tell me this, why is his life not my life? But there was still hope. Every Korean American up until that point was trash at actually speaking Korean, like thick, heavy Western accents. Can't believe that they're Korean at all. Certificate. This is where I studied Korean. Basically like the Harvard of Korea. So I'm pretty good at Korean. 그러나 교실에 앉아 있는 학생들의 변함 없는 나에와. And so again, Steven Yeun shows up in this incredible Korean film, speaking excellent Korean, being an entirely believable Korean character. And yeah, I get it, he's handsome for an Asian guy. Then he does this GQ photo shoot where he redefines this sexy, hallowed tradition of the American cowboy. And it's for these reasons I believe Steven Yeun is a detriment to our race. I mean, how are any of us supposed to live up to this new impossible standard in our lives in the form of sexy Steven Yeun?
So, where do you go from here?
Well, I mean, he's not going anywhere, and I'm always gonna have this hanging over my head for the rest of my life. But I guess life goes on, and I'll just have to find some way to find meaning not being Steven Yeun. I don't know. Maybe get another dog or something. And even though just be happy with yourself wasn't exactly any part of my Asian developmental process, all I really have is who I am.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm. Can we take a break? It's like a lot of questions.
All right. Yeah, we'll take a break. Take 5.
Yeah? Okay. All right. I'm just gonna use the bathroom. I'll just take it, I guess I'll just take it to the bathroom with me? All right,
We'll grab it.
just leave it here?
Yeah.
I'll just take it to the bathroom, it's fine.
Okay.